as our world grieves the viral deaths of over 1 million individual human beings, I'm talking about trying to bring life. A meaningful connection I have with this church began over 25 years ago. Your director of Christian education and I would carpool to several youth and education leadership events in Kansas City that our synod sponsored. She talked about her husband who specialized in infertility treatments. Some of his former patients from Texas were traveling here because they trusted him. I asked her how my wife and I could become his patients ourselves. The Presbyterian Church's medical insurance plan was gracious enough to include expensive infertility treatments that many other plans didn't. I joked, they must write it off to evangelism. The insurance plan was also insightful enough to place a reasonable limit on what they would pay for. My wife and I were able to go through the emotional roller coaster ride of several years of increasing infertility treatments with the doctor we met through this church. As many of you know all too well, it was painful to hear the many metaphors from our Holy Scriptures about being barren without literally applying them to my own experience. Preaching from the 3-year lectionary, I couldn't avoid those passages. I didn't have enough vacation time to miss that many Sundays. I became more empathetic to others' grief. While I respect, honor, and encourage the privacy of others, we chose to share our struggles with our church, who supported us by giving us the time off we needed and the prayers we felt. One Easter Sunday, we had a sunrise service at 7, raced to Columbia for an ovulation ultrasound, and returned for the end of the Easter breakfast before leading a crowded worship. I quipped to the ovulation ultrasound tech, I guess this gives new meaning to an Easter egg hunt. While others take a full spectrum of paths, our infertility process led us to the adoption of our only child. There are a lot of metaphors in our Holy Scripture about how we are all adopted into the family of God. I never tire of proclaiming that good news, the literal translation of the Greek euangelos into the English evangel. I don't write it off as evangelism, I write on. Where in your life have you experienced a literal or metaphorical barrenness? How has an inability in one area of your life led to a new beginning in another? When have you supported others in facing their obstacles and seeking solutions?